Now, if I'm shucking oysters, I will use from right to left, right-handed. Left-handed would work opposite. So I flow from here to here, and usually my pass is on this side. Sometimes the restaurant is set up where the pass is on the opposite side, understandable, but for hand-wise, it's going to work in a way where you'd pick it up and put it on the pass where it's going to go. I would have my oysters up front for visual inspection. Customers come in and see that, talk to the shucker, whatever. And then I would have this. This would be another tray. Like I usually keep all my shells here. If I'm catering, I don't need this much space. I only really need about this much space to that, because I'm not going to put the shell tops here. I'm going to take the shell tops and put them in a bucket underneath. I don't like actually leaving garbage cans on either side. It's something I don't like the look of. Customers will use and put their shells in a garbage, or I'll have another tray for them to put their shells in, and I'll drop it underneath right away. It keeps everything nice and clean. You want to put the oysters in an arrangement that you can understand as a shucker. If someone's feeding it or prepping for you to get the oyster, this is my order. You're going to put the order here and understand that that's going to be the Beausoleil, this is going to be the Miramichi, and then you can read the chit and away you go. When I'm shucking oysters, the next level of efficiency is how you process each one. So I would pick up with my knife. I don't drop my knife during service. When I'm done my plate, then I can put it down on the whole works, wash your hands, etc. in between. But when you're serving, you're shucking, don't put the knife. So get a knife to a position where you can hold on to it one finger. So I pick up with this hand. I'll hold on to it with the oyster hand, into the hinge, give it a little turn, pop that hinge, pry it open, cut across. At this point, I hit the grit, come underneath, shuck that one, then I'll place that one there and pick up the next one. So this hand is this position, this hand is that position. And it's a process that when you can go at this, looking for grit, you can keep your eyes focused on the oyster and still talk to the clients and customer and know where it's going. So each hand, it's muscle memory as well, where you're making it work more efficiently, okay, like this, so that you can actually grab each oyster and still keep motion. This technique allows you to, in contest form, when we started doing this, we dropped times on 18 oysters from 2.5 minutes to like 1.5 minutes. So we could drop minutes on a plate of oysters once we started doing this. But in the restaurant, you want to know that you're now saving time on the production. This is your production time, right? And that's what shuckers will be doing. Now, a lot of them, if they're shucking in the wrong position, if lots of shuckers will do this and pick up with this hand, or pick up with both hands like this, shuck it, and then put both over here. That's why when you split this side over here and this side over there, now that's your efficiency of times. So once your plate is done, then you do your accoutrements and the whole works. I like my lemons fresh. I do not prep my lemons ahead of time. I will still do a 2,000 oyster shift with fresh lemons to go, because if you prep your lemons in the afternoon, 3 o'clock to 4 o'clock, 4 o'clock, 4:30 open, you start your lemons by 8, 9, 10, 11 o'clock macerated. So the lemon skin is toast by the end of it, and you got slimy drippies. So I don't like that. I come in, I cut the tips off, and then I'll come down this way, and I'll hold on to the lemon by the seam, like that, and then I'll just use my lemon as my separator with the different oysters, like that. So it'll come up with a generally, usually I would use this is my catering knife, but I use a better knife on that as well. But that gives you good little lemons, very fresh. When it's squared like this, customers can pick it up without squeezing. If you're catering, you want to save a little bit more money and the stuff ahead of time, cut it in half first. So instead of 8, you got 16 pieces. I've found that people will use less lemons when they're in 16ths versus 8s. And I don't know what it is, because they'll take 1/8 and they'll go 3 oysters with it, and they'll take another 8, they'll do 6 with a 16th. They'll use it for all the oysters that they have. I don't know what it is. On a 500 oyster count catering gig, I'll use like 8 lemons. That's it, there's nothing. Those are things that I like to do for my system of efficiencies. This keeps my station as clean as possible. I generally keep my shells in this position. Once it gets too filled, then I drop it, and everything stays nice and clean. I've just grabbed this off the bar when the bartender wasn't looking. Perfect for grippy, and now it's another layer of water retention, so that your station is clean. If you're catering, that's what you want to do for sure, is be a very clean station. But when customers are coming in to your restaurant, your bar, first things they're going to look is they're going to see that, but if subliminally they see dirt, mess, dirty linen, etc., they'll have that preconceived notion that, oh, that's just an oyster shucker, they're dirty little people, which is true. I am a messy person, this is what happens, but I want to contain that as much as possible. If you have to wade through everything, if you don't know where your oysters are at, you don't know how they're going to be finished, if you have to go find the trays, get all that, everything else goes underneath. Oh, I forgot one more thing.